We need to make sure they have their appointments with their pediatrician. And most importantly, though, we've learned that improper swaddling after birth can actually cause a hip dislocation. So that's kind of new stuff, and parents have to be careful how they swaddle their babies if they do that. About 82% of parents in the United States are using swaddling to help calm their baby and help them sleep through the night. All those things are great, but you just have to be careful how you do it because it can damage the hips. Parents are the first line of defense for hip health because they can avoid the things that can cause the hip dysplasia to develop after birth. And the principal thing they can do is to make sure their baby's hips are held in a healthy position with swaddling. Well, the International Hip Dysplasia Institute has made a DVD, a video that's actually available on YouTube and on our website about hip healthy swaddling. And what it shows is some of the issues of how hip dysplasia is caused, but mainly it shows several different ways to safely swaddle your baby as far as the hips are concerned. So there are a lot of different ways you can swaddle a baby. We just want everyone to know how to do it so that the hips can be healthy. Well, we're not sure exactly how long it's important, but in general, the baby's hips will become tighter around 3 months of age. And so we would say to be especially careful during the first 3 months of development, not to stretch your baby's hips out too straight or to bind them down too tightly. Well, fortunately, most babies' hips are pretty tough. And even if you swaddle them badly, it doesn't mean that you're going to cause a hip dislocation or hip dysplasia. But if you did swaddle your baby tightly and you're concerned about it, then that's something you should discuss with your pediatrician. They can tell on an examination if there's a problem. If they have any concern about it, they can get an x-ray. But it's still pretty rare, hip dysplasia. Parents can be aware of their own family history. If there's been a family member who's had a total joint replacement or an adult that has arthritis, it might be from hip dysplasia, and so they should be a little more aware that their child could have hip dysplasia. If they've had a breech baby, particularly a girl, then they should be a little more aware and maybe just talk to their pediatrician and tell them that they need to be careful. Well, if we had all the money that we needed, I think we could make a dent in hip dysplasia around the world. All of hip dysplasia is not preventable, but it does seem like there's a big part of it that is. And spreading the word and helping educate people and providing some simple tools that they could use, tools that are used in China and Nigeria and Uganda and other places where the risk of hip dysplasia is very low, could be conveyed to other parts of the world and maybe reduce the burden of hip dysplasia in some countries where it's a common problem.